Hi guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to my 2025 Wrapped Action 2025 recap. Action. I should have got one of those like little movie things that they use on set and they go action. That would have been so funny. But I was just feeling really inspired this week. Obviously first week of December we get fed a lot. We get Spotify Wrapped, Apple Music Wrapped. We got a YouTube recap this year. Fable just posted that their recap for the year is coming, and it got me thinking about just some of my favorite things from the year. I typically share my monthly favorites in my monthly reset videos here on YouTube, but I've never done a yearly favorites, and I just thought it'd be a lot of fun to sit and talk about some of my favorite media, some of my favorite products, some of my favorite memories, habits, just things like that. The real MVPs of 2025, if you will. Let me know down below maybe like what one of your favorite TV shows and movies was, one of your favorite books, and then just like one of your favorite products. I think that would be so fun if we just like all talked about our favorite things. I'm gonna try and do this as quick as I can because you guys know I love to yap. If you're new here, hi, my name's Carter. I'm 28. I talk all about getting through life in your 20s unfiltered. We do a little bit of everything on this channel. A little bit of travel, a little personal finance, lots of homebody content, reading, thrifting, home projects, you name it. I don't know. I just like to show all aspects of like your 20s and lots of hobbies and fun things like that. So before we get into it, I just want to say that this video, like the purpose of this video is not a like, oh, go buy everything I mentioned video. I really wanted to make this well balanced and not just share products, because there's nothing wrong with sharing products you love, right? We all buy things, and I think it's great to buy things that spark joy and have a place in your routines and your habits and that you use. Little joys, recipes, and just like habits and things that didn't cost anything this year. So if something sparks inspiration for you and you're like, wow, I want to try that, I love that for you, but don't feel like you have to go buy everything that I'm talking about. I do feel like this year was a year of intentionality, trying to use a lot of what we have. My financial motto for the year was to save with intention and spend with joy. So I do feel like a lot of these things that I'm going to talk about aren't necessarily things that I bought this year, but they're just things that I continued to carry into the year and continued using, continued loving. There's a few new products in here as well. I don't want this to feel like I'm pressuring anybody to buy. I'm just simply sharing some of my favorite things from the standpoint of someone who's trying to become a bit more intentional with their purchases. And yeah, if you're just here to hang out and also think about your favorite things, I love that for you. That's perfect. Sit back and relax. I'd actually love if you guys commented down below some of your favorite things from the year, whether it was your favorite movie, TV show, book, product, travel, memory, you name it. Let me know how your 2025 was. I would love to know. But without further ado, let's jump into it. First up is what was on repeat. These were the TV shows, the movies, the music, and all the comfort media that kind of just like carried me through the year. I think 2025 was such a good year for TV shows. I feel like I'm a big TV show person. I feel like most people enjoy TV and movie, but you tend to gravitate towards one or the other. And I definitely think that we watch a lot of television. First up is my 3 favorite TV shows, not necessarily that came out in 2025, but just like overall favorite TV shows of this year that I watched. First up is Criminal Minds. I know we're so late to the game on this, but you guys know I've talked about this before. I have this weird thing where I'll put off watching something as long as I can because I can only experience it for the first time once. Anyways, we finally did it. It's so nice to have a show, especially over the winter, that has a ton of seasons, and yeah, we love it. I knew I would love it. Second is Rivals. This should come as no surprise to anybody. I did not shut up about this show at all this year. I literally went on my best friend's podcast and we didn't shut up about this show. So good. It is based on a book, and I feel like it's so underrated. I hear nobody talk about it. A lot of it is about broadcasting and TV. So you kind of have these 3 main men. One of them is a politician and the other 2 are kind of like rivals in the media and broadcasting space. You also have a forbidden romance. Super forbidden. We've got like little touches, stolen glances. It's just incredible. Banter, yearning. It's so good. A lot of found family in it as well. Drama. And yeah, I love it. I cannot say enough good things about it. I cannot wait for the next season. And then lastly, we have The Buccaneers, which I arguably like more than Bridgerton. I just like the way it's executed a bit more. I think they're both very different, right? Bridgerton is very historically accurate. They talk like they would back then. Everything is very beautiful on set, very, once again, accurate. But in Bridgerton, you're typically following that one couple with a few side plots, whereas in The Buccaneers, they talk a bit more modernly, not as historically accurate, follow a group of girlfriends and all their partners and all their things that are going on throughout the season. So you just have a lot going all the time, and it's kind of cheesy, it's full of drama, but I love it so much. Watched the 2nd season this year and it was so good. So yeah, Loved those three. My favorite TV shows that came out in 2025. I had a top 5 up until last week because I was going to share this in my 2026 reset. And then we watched a show that I was like, I cannot bump any of these top 5 off. So the top 5 has now become the top 6. They're not in any particular order. I just kind of jotted down what I remembered. First up was Paradise. This was pretty early into 2025. Honestly, started the year off on a great note. This takes place in an underground city bunker under Colorado, I believe. You wouldn't really know it's in a bunker. We've got like white picket fences, very don't worry darling vibes, perfect community, you know, everyone's waving, everyone's smiling. This takes place 3 years after a doomsday event occurred. So it's kind of like near future dystopian, which kind of makes it a little creepy. And we follow Xavier, who is a Secret Service agent, and he's investigating the murder of the President of the United States. This was so well done. Then we have House of Guinness, which I knew this was going to be incredible because it was from the creators of Peaky Blinders, which is one of the best shows of all time. And this takes place after Sir Benjamin Guinness dies, who of course is like the founder of Guinness Beer, Guinness Brewery. And it follows his 4 adult children as they're taking over the business. We've got politics, we've got drama, we've got relationships, and also just showing what life was like in 19th century Dublin. Then we had Welcome to Derry. I'm a huge horror fan. I'm a huge It fan. I'm a huge Stephen King fan. It is probably my favorite horror movie of all time. And I would say I like this more than I like It. This is a sequel, so it's taking place leading up to the first movie, and you're kind of learning about Pennywise's introduction to Derry, how he came to be. It's gory, it's creepy, it's spooky. So well done. I am loving it. Then we have The Pit. Everyone's talking about The Pit. It was incredible. It was so medically accurate. I haven't watched it. It is a medical drama that takes place over the course of 1 shift. And I think it goes to show how much can like really go down in 1 day. So each episode is an hour, and it follows an hour of a 15-hour shift in a US emergency room. And what I liked about this is that it followed more than just doctors, right? You have nurses who are like the glue of the healthcare system, but also support staff like social work, cleaners, CNAs. Like it really shows how everyone has their place and everyone has their like importance in healthcare. And we have Death by Lightning, which was a little bit of an unexpected love. I thought that we would like this miniseries, but I don't think either of us, my husband and I, expected to love it as much as we did. This is executively produced by the same people who did Game of Thrones, Benioff and Weiss. So like I knew it was gonna be good. This blew me away for being a miniseries, honestly. The rise to presidency of the 20th US president, I always say Arthur Garfield, it's James Garfield, and he was, well, it's not like shocking news, it says this in like the description, he's assassinated by Charles Guiteau, and so you're just following these 2 timelines leading up to the presidency, his first little bit in office, and then also this timeline of Charles Guiteau. Matthew McFadden does such an incredible job. I hope he wins something for it because his performance was absolutely incredible, and I think it's a must watch. It was really insightful. You also learn about civil service reform in the United States. And then lastly, the show that made me add a 6th spot to this that I couldn't bump anything off of, Another Unexpected Love. I think that we expected to like this. Of course, Stephen Carell and Tina Fey are in it, but we loved the 4 seasons. It was incredible. This follows 3 married couples, and they get together every season, like every quarter, for like a weekend getaway. One couple also divorces right at the beginning, so that kind of throws off the dynamic too. It's not a spoiler, it literally says it in the Netflix description, but it was so well done. I laughed, I cried, I laughed, I cried again, and it's just really interesting to see these long-lasting friendships. These people have all been friends since their 20s. Now a lot of them are in their like late 40s, early 50s. Everyone is kind of going through something different, whether it's a midlife crisis or, I have to say, like Will Forte, Steve Carell, Tina Fey, they were incredible as always, but the true star of the show for me was Coleman Domingo. Like I was just blown away. He was so funny. And then of course we have 3 honorable mentions that were great, but they just didn't make the top 5 for me. We've got We Were Liars, The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3, and then Haunted Hotel. In terms of movies, the top 3 were in no order. Well, maybe they're in order. Sinners, K-Pop Demon Hunters, and then Fantastic Four. I loved the new Fantastic Four. I feel like people either loved it or hated it. I thought it was incredible. I think it's honestly maybe in like my top 5 or 6 Marvel movies of all time. Like I just really loved it. Keep in mind at the time of filming this, I still have not seen F1 or Wicked for Good. I don't know what it is, but F1 is just taking a really long time to become available to watch on Apple TV without having to pay. I think I feel like I saw maybe December. I'm just not paying for a movie to stream at home when I pay for Apple TV. Do you know what I mean? Like that just seems kind of silly. So I'm just waiting to watch that when it comes out. And then yeah, we just haven't seen Wicked for Good yet. So that's why it's not in my top 3. But yeah, good movies this year, but I definitely think it was a better year for TV. And then in terms of music, I primarily listen to a lot of like indie folk and country, I would say. A little bit of pop too. Once again, I think it was an incredible year for music. Let me share with you guys some of my top songs, top albums of the year really quickly. We've got Do-Si Do by Scott Wolverton, Over and Over by Jackson Dean, Happy Ever After You by Mackenzie Porter and Jake Etheridge, new Florence and the Machine album. We got a new Lumineers album, Kings of Leon EP, Bullseye with Hosier, that's by Lucy Dacus. And then of course, Rubber Band Man, probably one of my top songs of the year. Loved the new Kelsey Ballerini EP. I was a little disappointed with Patterns. I just think EPs are a lot more emotional and raw and vulnerable, and obviously you can't just always put out EPs, you have to put out albums too. I thought it was incredible. My two favorite songs were Emerald City and People Pleaser. Jordan Davis had a new album. I love Jordan Davis. He's one of my favorite country artists. Oh, another song I loved was Southern Man by, I know Marcus King is featured on it. Oh, Cassius Culpepper. That song was incredible. And then my two favorite songs off the new Taylor Swift album were Wishlist and Ruin the Friendship. So yeah, I think it was a great year for music too. And then some YouTube creators that I found this year. I specifically want to highlight people I found in 2025. So for lifestyle, we have Hunter Destin Hauser. Holly Gabrielle made her comeback to YouTube. She's been on YouTube for years, but she made her comeback this year, the last month or so, and her content just feels like FaceTime. Monica Razik, Taylor Tippett, Morgan Peterson. Faith Connolly became one of my favorites this year. She's also renovating an older home. Hannah Noel. I love when I find short form creators that make long form content too. It just feels like the biggest serotonin boost. For hobby people, I found Sydney Graham and then also Ava Rapala. And then for bookish people, Dylan Joseph. I follow him on short form, didn't realize he had YouTube. Once again, serotonin boost when you find out someone you love on short form also does YouTube. Jamie, Abigail's Cup of Tea, had her come back as well over the last month or so, Liza Palmer. I can also put on the screen here my YouTube Wrapped for the year in case you guys are interested. It was just like not creators I found this year except for Hannah. I think I watched a shit ton of her videos. I love her. She has the longest Disney vlogs in the entire world. They're like literally a full feature length film. Like they're so long. And then for thrifting, I found Ryan Dar and Laura Mans this year. Okay, next category is what was on the menu for 2025. I was going through my Instagram story archive and also my Instagram photos to just kind of see what we were eating a ton of in 2025. Top dish for sure was homemade pizza. We went through this phase where we were making homemade pizza every Friday. We still do. I will ask Matt what his pizza dough recipe was and link it down below. He would just make like a big batch of like 4 or 5 and then just freeze them, and then Friday morning take it out and let it thaw throughout the day. I don't even think I have a single photo of it, but it's one of those dishes that doesn't like look very good but tastes good. This tortellini balsamic dish on our Blackstone like dupe from Home Depot. It was like the cheaper one, but like the Blackstone, you know what I mean? Like the grill. And it was this dish that was tortellini, sausage, peppers and onions, and then it was like glazed with balsamic. It was so good. And then you cook the tortellini, but then you put it on the grill so it kind of gets this char. It was incredible. It was like one of our go-to meals for hosting this summer. Lots of smash burgers, a lot of wonton soup, spicy coconut milk, chili flake wonton soup. Incredible. Chicken Caesar wraps, that was a big thing this year. The chicken nuggets from Costco with a Caesar salad, naan bread, or taco shells, whatever. Really easy go-to dinner. Hot dogs, you guys know I love hot dogs. Okay, hot dogs is a personality trait of mine, and we ate some damn good hot dogs this year. And then also 2-ingredient bagels, like the Greek yogurt cottage cheese bagels. Those we made a ton. We still do. So those were the top things that I feel like we made in 2025. In terms of coffee, our most purchased beans were Balzac's, and then also a local coffee company to us called Papa Bean out of Ottawa. Also, I became obsessed with the Nescafe coffee concentrate or espresso concentrate, specifically in vanilla. So good. They did send it to me, and then I ended up repurchasing like 3 or 4 times. It's just like subtly vanilla too. I don't love sweet coffee, and it's just perfect. You can make it as strong or as not weak, that sounds so bad, but like, you know what I mean? You can make the coffee as strong as you want it to be. And then in terms of like drinks, Diet Coke is a big one, obviously. Any type of seasonal ginger ale from Canada Dry, they killed it. There was a few this year, love them. I think probably seasonal for the winter, but we have been drinking an insane amount of the cranberry bubbly. I discovered the Hugo Spritz this year. Love her. Oh, Sauvignon Blanc with jalapenos. That was a big one for me. My favorite beer of the year was definitely Erdinger. Subtle notes of banana and caramel. I don't even really know how to explain it, but like it's not artificial. It's very subtle. I really love it. It is one of my favorite beers. PC like sparkling diet lemonade. We drank a ton of that over the summer too. Those were definitely some of my favorite drinks. This was my favorite tea combo of the year. We actually discovered this on our cruise. I went to go have tea the first night of our cruise and he was like, oh, can I share like my recommendation? And I was like, yeah, go for it. And he said 1 peppermint tea, 1 ginger lemon. I specifically love the ginger peach tea from PC. So I love doing the mint and the ginger peach. It's my go-to combo. I'd say for mint tea, because I like my mint tea to be strong. I really love the PC one, and then also Tetley and Twinings. Those are the 3 I feel like I alternate through the most. I am not someone who takes a liquid IV every day. However, if you guys don't know, I have long COVID. My flare-ups are triggered a lot by stress and lack of sleep. So especially with traveling and stuff, I love to have these. I specifically love the white peach flavor. And this is like my go-to if I'm just like feeling, you know, dizzy, I need some sodium. I don't take it all the time. Electrolytes, I don't know. I feel like they're great to have when traveling, especially in the summer. It was so hot in London that it was really nice to kind of like replenish, but I don't take them on a daily basis. But the white peach one is my favorite. Some of these are just like silly, goofy favorites. Like I wanted to share with you guys my favorite mug of the year. I love mugs. I love buying mugs. It is one of my weaknesses. This is probably the mug I also get the most questions about too, and they still have it. I'll try and see if I can link it online. They also have it's like not a set, but they have 4 different ones. It would look so cute. I thought about getting all 4 and then hanging them on a rack. It just says Hot Reads. Perfect size, and I think it's like a very subtle bookish piece of merch, if you will, and kind of reminds me of like a Ralph's mug, like Ralph's in New York City. Favorite mug of the year. And then I also have a favorite tumbler. This I've had for a few years now. I actually had coffee out of it this morning, but this is the Perani 16-ounce tumbler. I got this recommendation from Rachel Ottenreith a couple of years ago now, and I use it every single day. I like it. I know there's a lot of stainless steel tumblers out there, but sorry, I'm gonna move the straw. This keeps your drink so cold, and I use this for everything. I feel like, okay, this is coming out. It's so annoying. I use this for my iced Americanos, for cold brew, for Diet Coke. Sometimes in the summer, we go for a wine walk, me and my husband with the dogs, and I'll put I won't fill this up with wine, but I'll put a ton of ice, a little Sauvignon Blanc, some jalapenos. Oh, so good. Or like a little cocktail if we're going over to the neighbors for dinner, a beer, you name it. I love this thing so much. And yeah, I probably, like my cost per use, I'm really into cost per use right now, is probably next to nothing because I have used this almost every day this year. And then last year, and then I think I got it in 2023, at the end of 2023. Biggest snack purchases this year, I was going through the Costco receipts, Built Bars. I loved the strawberry Power Crunch bars this year too. Those were a yummy little wafer. The Special K, like Kellogg's little bars. I became obsessed with seaweed this year and snacking on seaweed. Yeah, those were like the main ones. Percy Pigs and Fred Firkles because we went to London, and yeah, Matt the other day said they like taste like erasers in the best way possible, but they are like our favorite candy. So good. Got a new portafilter this year. I believe it's from Amazon. My husband is super into like perfecting the espresso with the Breville. This has made our espresso just like significantly better. I don't even know how to explain it. I didn't believe him at first. I was like, we don't need a new portafilter. It's one of these like bottomless ones, so everything kind of like comes together. I can't explain coffee well, but yeah, I love this. I got like a fun little espresso cup this year to measure our beans in, and it just honestly brings me so much joy. Like it's silly, like you could just get a plain one, but it says good morning on it. I got it in Toronto at a little store. There's a lot of like local ceramics place that sell cute little espresso cups like this. I'm sure Etsy has a bunch too, but yeah, it just brings me so much joy. I think that's it for kind of stuff around the kitchen. I guess next we can talk about what worked for me. I thought this was a fun category. Kind of tried to get a little bit like more fun with the categories and kind of put, you know, like break it down a little differently. In terms of apps that worked for me this year, I definitely found a few new ones this year that I absolutely love, or ones that I continued to use from previous years. First off, my 2 most used apps on my iPad were Happy Color, which should come as no shock. I've been using Happy Color for years. If I need to wind down, if I'm feeling anxious, it's a really great way to kind of like decompress. And then I'm a total grandma, but I love playing bingo on my iPad too. So those were the top apps I used on my iPad. And then in terms of my phone, I asked a lot how I track my books. Fable is my favorite book tracking app. I just love the interface of it. It's fun, it's bright, it's colorful. I love that you can make custom lists, so I have mine broken down by genre. I also have my book club here, so it's really nice to have everything in one place. I love that you can give 0.25 star ratings. Then we have Jomo. This is the way that I track my screen time. I've tried quite a few this year. I tried Opal, I tried Flight Focus, which like allows you to go on flights. It's kind of fun, but I just really like how simple Jomo is. I love the interface of it. It's just very bright and clean, but then you can actually add like if this was time well spent and really reflect on it. You can create rules and just do like a quick focus session, and I really like Jomo. I've been using Flight Flighty for a few years. I don't know if I've talked about it, but Flighty is my favorite flight tracking app. It has kind of like a dual purpose. So it gives real-time updates. It'll give alerts for delays, gate changes, and I find it shows the information sooner than like the airport will text you. If you fly a lot too for work like I do, it's really nice. It keeps everything in one place, so you're not kind of going through your emails trying to find like flight confirmations and things like that. It's all in one spot. And then I also just love, I'm like kind of a nerd with this, I love being able to look back and get all the data from the flights. It's kind of like your travel wrapped in 1 year, and you get like this little passport and it shows like the miles, your most popular plane that you took this year. And yeah, I just think it's a really fun app. Then we have Sweepy, which helps organize and just kind of like maintain and manage your household chores. I love that it breaks it down by room, and then everything is on a different schedule. So like you wash the sheets maybe once a week, and then you vacuum every single day, and then you dust maybe on Sundays, and it kind of just gamifies it, which makes it really, really fun. You can like build a streak, and I love being able to see all the different cleaning schedules in one spot. And then I have Q, which is just the app that I use to track my TV shows and movies. And I just really enjoy it. I like having it in one place. I love being able to see like what is streaming. You can hook it up based on the streaming services that you use, which is really handy. And you can see like what's in theaters, what's coming soon, what's most loved. You can build lists, and then you can also use it to find your next TV show and kind of like spin this little wheel and make it fun. Things around the house, I guess. I feel like we have a really good balance of, we like to buy things once and buy it nice. For example, our Breville we got a couple years ago on Facebook Marketplace. Don't discount Facebook Marketplace because people are always giving them away, because I feel like they are a little bit of a learning curve, but once you learn it, like you're set. I use the Ninja Creamy almost every single day. That was the best thing we got. We've had both for probably like 3 years now. I think the only new gadget we got this year was a new air fryer. We got the Ninja, I think it's the Ninja Foodie. It's the flip up one, which is great because we don't have a lot of counter space. Our oven is 40 years old. I feel like there's certain things like appliances, like our oven and then also our washer dryer, are very, very old, but we're gonna use them until they die. It bakes, so it works as a like just regular oven, air fries, so it replaced the need for us to have a toaster, so we have less appliances. And you can flip it up, you can kind of store it away. It is a game changer. I love it. I can't recommend it enough. I think that would be such a great gift. In terms of like random things around the house that worked for us this year, we got these awesome sheet holders from Amazon. We have a really big mattress, and we found that our sheets were constantly slipping off, so we got these bed sheet holders. This is like such an adulting video. I'm like, well, my favorite product of the year was some bed sheet holders. Along with that, we recently switched over to the Scandinavian sleep method. Game changer. Basically, if you haven't heard of it, it's just where you sleep with separate duvets, and it's really nice. My husband runs really hot, I run really cold, so we can kind of control the temperature and blankets. We have a king size bed, so we do 2 twin duvets, and honestly, you can't really make it look super nice on the bed, but I don't really care. It doesn't really bother me, and it's just nice. Like if one of you wants to cocoon up and the other one wants to like lay out. We also sleep with both of our dogs, so it's just kind of like nice, and it gives us some more like room. I feel like our sleep quality has improved a lot with it, and you can definitely still cuddle because at the beginning of the night we just overlap our duvets and snuggle, and then we kind of like go our separate ways. But truly a game changer. Candle warmers have been a really big thing for us this year. It just helps us preserve the life of a candle. And then also we have a carpet rake. You don't realize how much hair is in your like rugs and carpets, honestly, until you rake and like use this thing. It's a good arm workout too. Okay, one thing I realized this year about travel specifically and like what worked for me was I love making my hotel room feel like home. I know some people probably like just don't care, but when I'm traveling alone and I'm traveling for work, it can get really lonely even as an introvert. I love to bring a mug from home, and I'll bring slippers, and I'll bring a blanket, and I'll just try to really make it as homey as I can. If you travel a lot, I keep a toiletry bag stocked now with like travel size things. That way I can just grab it and go, and I don't have to worry about taking things in and out. That was a big one this year since we had a lot of travel. Oh, I have this like little mini medication thingy, and it comes with different stickers, so you can use it to really customize what medication you use, and it's great. It slips into your purse. I carry it daily. I carry it when I travel. I also have a white noise machine. The hotel room lock, of course, it's just like an extra layer of security. You can never go wrong with that. And then I have always had kind of like an in-flight little pouch to use. I like having a clear one. It's just a lot easier to see things, especially on a red eye. I also just use that like in my work bag. It kind of goes everywhere with me. Anyways, those were just like a few little travel things. A quick little reflection, I guess, on just like budgeting and what worked for me this year with that, because I feel like I did change quite a few things, and I feel like finance, you're just like always evolving, you're always changing, and I think that's what's really fun about it. Obviously, I love Gabby Peterson's spreadsheet. I'll put it on the screen. I have a discount code. I love her. I love supporting her. I don't get any kickback from it or anything. It's just a spreadsheet that I love and I use myself, and I like want to be able to share that with other people. I also realized towards the end of the year, because I'm currently doing a bit of a low buy right now, that I prefer low buy months over no spend weeks, because it almost kind of feels like a bit of a crash diet and I'm not really learning from it. I'm just kind of forcing a behavior. Whereas like with a low buy month, I am giving myself space to pause and reflect, be intentional, and kind of spend where it matters and skip the mindless stuff. And I find that I just do better in the long run being aware versus being like, I'm gonna have a no spend week and then just spend the next week to like make up for it. Sinking funds, that was one of my 2025 goals, was to just utilize sinking funds more. And honestly, it's great. It removes so much stress because you don't have to worry about it. Nothing felt like a surprise. And if you didn't know, sinking funds are basically when you just have mini savings pots and you're saving for future things, whether it's car repairs, Christmas presents, that's a big one, fun money, hair appointments, travel, you name it, just putting aside little amounts of money monthly. That way, when Christmas comes, you're not worried about budgeting for Christmas. You've got the money put aside and like away you go. I realized this year that I like to see more of the big picture, and I was just like over categorizing everything, and I just had a million categories and it was really overwhelming me. It started to feel like homework, and so now I've just like started to really simplify things. Everyone's gonna be different, right? If you're budgeting, you might be trying to pay off debt and see how much debt you can pay off in a month and see that line item. And so for some people, it might be like, oh, I want to cut back my eating out. I want to see my eating out line item. And for me, I want the big picture. I just want to know how much I saved, how much I invested, and how much I spent, and like that's it. Instead of doing like groceries, pet, home, it's just like joint card, one line item. And then same for like fun money. I tried that out last month. I loved it. Instead of doing like shopping, hobbies, coffee, it's just like, here's my line item of fun money, and like this is what I'm spending. And I really like that system of doing it a little bit more for me. And even though I share it, it needs to be a system that works for me first, not what everyone else is doing and not what everyone else wants me to prioritize. So those were some of the budgeting things that worked for me and I guess didn't work for me this year. And then my battery's dead, so let me go get a new one. Okay, and then in terms of hobbies, some things that worked for me really well this year were just accepting I don't need to be good at every hobby and just enjoying them. I think it's a work in progress, but like for example, this year I really wanted to start needlepoint and I haven't done it yet because I'm just scared to try. I'm scared to be bad at it, but I'm slowly getting there. My junk journal was a big thing. I think that took off a lot of perfectionism tendencies this year. And like, I don't even care if my junk journal is like the ugliest thing anyone has ever seen. It makes me so happy and it allows me to be creative. It's something I'm still working on, right? Like I still haven't started the needlepoint. I still haven't started to crochet or sew or do any things I want to do, but I'm getting there. And that was a big thing. It's just taking off the pressure to be perfect or even good at something. You don't even need to be good at it. Like you could do such a bad job at it and still enjoy something, and that's totally okay. Having less books on my TBR. Shocking. I know, I actually read them when there's less on my TBR. I get so overwhelmed by a large physical TBR, and some people love it. I know some people talk about, I think it might have been Dylan that talked about how for him, like he just collects books and then when something speaks to him at the right time, he'll read it. And I love that. And I think everyone is so different. For me, I was so overwhelmed. I started the year with 70 books on my TBR and I was so overwhelmed. I had decision paralysis. I couldn't pick any of them. And I noticed when I started dwindling it down more that I was more likely to reach for something on my TBR because it was like less to process, less to see on the shelves. And I really enjoy just buying a book here or there, not doing any big book hauls, using the library a ton, really being intentional with my book purchases this year. That was a really, really big one for me. So definitely less books on my TBR. I'm actually more likely to read them. Crazy concept, I know. I mean, obviously I read a ton this year. I love my Kindle. I love my Kobo. In terms of other hobbies, diamond art. I love doing diamond art this year. That was a really fun one. Like the last couple months have been like back on my puzzle bullshit. I find it's a really great way for me to start the morning. Really gets my brain going. Like a coffee with a puzzle by the Christmas tree and an audiobook is just like chef's kiss. Best way to spend the morning. I like using my hands, keeping my hands busy with hobbies. Almost exclusively only buy the Gallison 500-piece puzzles. I don't know why 1,000 just kind of intimidates me, but I should probably get some 1,000-piece ones because I finished the 500 ones quite quick. But I love Gallison puzzles so much. They're definitely my favorite. And then speaking of hobbies, I figured really quick we could go over what I was reading in 2025. It's a favorites video and reading is a lifelong favorite thing of mine and it would feel silly not including it. So what I decided to do was I'm going to tell you my top 3 books in each genre that I read this year. Some of them only have one book, like nonfiction and dark academia, but my top 3 in the other ones. And at the time of filming this, just to give you guys some like context, I have read I want to say 145 books so far. So narrowing this down was so hard to do, but I'm really excited to share. I feel like I found some really great all-time God tier 6-star read books this year. I want to go through these super quick and then we'll move on to the next category because I could yap about books all day long and I'm not letting myself do it. First up is The Island of Last Things. The audiobook for this is incredible if you can get your hands on it. The world has kind of gone through this like environmental destruction. I don't want to like spoil too much because I do feel like the reveal of it kind of like adds to the book. And she's working at one of the last zoos in the world on Alcatraz. And then a new zookeeper comes along and they form a little bit of like a friendship relationship. The two zookeepers kind of like hatch this plan to smuggle one of the animals off of the island. And it just talks a lot about like environmental concern. And it was just kind of a bit of an eerie read, especially just with like climate change and stuff. But yeah, it was kind of interesting to read about this like dystopian-esque world where there isn't many zoos left. So good. We have Briefly a Delicious Life, which I loved. This follows a young ghost named Blanca, and she kind of like oversees this hilltop monastery. I wouldn't say she haunts it, but she's just like living there. She died in the 1400s. She doesn't want to leave. And this book takes place in the 1800s when a family moves in and she becomes obsessed with the wife. And it was just so well done. And then I also had How to Grieve Like a Victorian, which also surprised me. This follows a young widow and her son decide to go to London while she's grieving. She just kind of wants a change of pace, change of space, change of place, if you will. That all rhymed. And she decides to grieve like a Victorian. So she like carries around her husband's ashes and she wears a locket with his hair and she's dressed in black and she follows this like mourning code that the Victorians did. We're following this woman's grief journey and then also a bit of love in it as well, and it was just such a heartwarming read. Dead Husband's Cookbook, which follows Maria, who's a celebrity chef, kind of like Martha Stewart-esque vibes. Thea is writing her memoir. She has no idea why she got picked to do it, and so you're getting a past present timeline of Thea working with Maria to write her memoir and uncovering what really happened, because 20 years ago her husband disappeared and they think Maria had something to do with it. That's Not My Name by Megan Lally follows a boy named Drew who his girlfriend disappeared. He's the main suspect. And then we also have a girl who kind of like wakes up, has no idea where she is. She's at the police station. She's got amnesia and her supposed father comes and picks her up and she just has like no idea who she is. So you get those two timelines woven in seamlessly. So well done, so fast paced, amazing for a YA thriller. Best offer wins. This was so good. This is a more literary fiction leaning thriller, all about a woman who will do anything to get her dream home. And I mean anything. For nonfiction, I only had one, which was 107 Days. I did listen to this on audio and then also read it, and it was incredible. It's narrated by Kamala herself, so I highly recommend if you can get a copy of it. Enjoyed seeing the behind the scenes. Obviously, this is the shortest presidential campaign in modern history, so seeing them put it together, and then also just hearing a bit more about what vice presidency is like, what they can and can't do. I felt like I learned a lot as a Canadian. I think it is really important to know American politics. It plays such a huge role, not only our economy, but just the world in general. And I really enjoyed this. Death Storm by Maggie Gates, which is probably my favorite cowboy romance of all time. We've got a city girl. She's going to work at a farm. The banter is incredible. The found family is incredible. I laughed out loud. I cried. I just love the way that Maggie writes dialogue. It's so real, it's so funny, and I loved this entire series, honestly, so much. Then we have The Love of My Afterlife. This was so cute. I feel like no one talks about this. Delphi, you know, croaks and she's in the afterlife and she meets this really handsome man and she's like, I think this is my soulmate. They offer a deal to go back to Earth and she has like 9 or 10 days to find this mysterious man. Great magical realism. Very Ashley Poston-esque in my opinion. If you like her, you'll like this. Give Me Butterflies by Jillian Meadows. This follows 2 museum workers. We've got a curator, we've got a department head. He's a single dad. I love museums in general. I wish there was more romances about them. And yeah, it's just like their little love story. She's like up for a promotion and he's like on the committee, and then they become friends and fall in love, and it just felt very real. I feel like it was a very refreshing romance book. It was paced really well and it felt like they were really falling in love, not just for a book, if that makes sense. The Shadows That Listen. This was incredible. I actually think this just got picked up for traditional publishing, which is so exciting. This is like a dystopian kind of Last of Us vibes, angels and humans. I guess this is more magical realism than it is fantasy, but I couldn't not include Alchemy of Secrets. I loved this so much. It is kind of like a treasure hunt, Nancy Drew, National Treasure-esque vibe, racing against the clock, can't trust anybody, and it takes place in Hollywood. It is in modern times, but it very much gives like old glitz and glamour Hollywood, which I loved. The setting in this was so amazing. If you liked Heartless Hunter, you'll love this. Follows two rival assassins in Phantom, which is the world. We've got the cloaks, we've got the daggers, which is kind of like the two groups. One are rivals, one are thieves. We've got a really interesting magic system. This is like true enemies to lovers, like hatred to lovers. And then for like dark academia gothic reads, I only had one top favorite of the year, which was Nightshade. This takes place in Scotland in a dark academia castle university, and we've got once again, true hatred to lovers. Our female main character is there to investigate the death of her parents, and the MMC is the son of the person that she thinks committed the murder. So it was just so well done. The banter was top tier. I literally gave up sleep on my red-eye flight to read this. So that's how you know it was really, really good. I paid the price the next day, but it was well worth it for this. So those were some of my favorite books of 2025. Honestly, such a great reading year. And next up we have what I'm repurchasing. So these are all the things that I either found this year that I've repurchased that I love, more kind of product, I guess like beauty focus, like bathroom things you would find in the bathroom. I also wanted to include my thrift finds. I didn't know where else to put these, but you guys know if you follow me, I love to buy secondhand. I love garage sales. I love thrifting. I love all that stuff. It's kind of hard because I obviously can't link anything, but maybe it'll just encourage you guys to go check out the thrift store and maybe try some garage sales in 2026. I love garage sailing. First up are two garage sale finds. I got this lamp. I'm staring at it right now. It's so cute. It is the perfect size. I do really want to do a little bit of like a lampshade DIY and put some fabric on it just to add some character to it because it is like pretty white and bland right now. Also at that same garage sale, I got this gorgeous boat print. I am obsessed with it. It's one of those pieces that like I want it in every room, and I only have one of them, so it can only go in one space, but I'm just so obsessed with it. It's gorgeous. I think it was like $2. I've been looking for a duvet cover for our spare room since we did it last year, truly. I had a white one before. White just obviously gets so dirty with dogs. Our spare bedroom is painted this gorgeous kind of like mid blue color. I have a lot of like gold accents and dark wood in there. It's just like so cozy, but I struggled with the duvet cover because blue felt too much, white felt too plain, and I found this one. I think it's from IKEA, and it was $7. It's just got nice blue. It's kind of plaid-esque with a white base, I guess is the best way to explain it, but it's got yellow and it's got blue in it, so it really flows really well with the gold accents, and I think it looks really, really nice and cozy in there. I thrifted a Julia Child's cookbook this year. That's been on like my all-time thrift list. That was awesome. Our kitchen shelf, that was a great find this year. Beauty, hair care, anything you would find in the bathroom, really. That's my best way to explain it. I'm not someone who tries new things out. I'm very much like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I have super acne prone skin, and so the only way I can kind of like maintain my acne, one, birth control, love her. Two is I just use things that don't clog my pores, and I don't change it up. I rarely change anything up. For hair care, I've used the same shampoo and conditioner for like 6 or 7 years. Extraordinary Oil and the Dream Lengths. Those are my two go-to. I kind of just like alternate. I love a drugstore shampoo and conditioner. I get asked quite a lot what I use on my hair, and those are my ride or die girlies. I love them. They also smell so good. I feel like I'm kind of boring. I don't really try many new things. The only thing I did change this year was my moisturizer, because the Vanicream moisturizer, I can still get the cleanser, can't get the moisturizer. I think it's just like a shipping thing from the States right now. Yeah, I became obsessed with Bioma this year. I love their packaging. These are my two ride or die products. They don't break me out. I love especially the milky toner in the winter when it's really dry. I love to layer this with the moisturizer. Very happy adding those into my routine this year. The only other thing I added to my routine this year was hypochlorous acid. I have this nice little travel one, and then I just buy the big one to refill it. I tend to break out after a workout if I don't wash my face right away, or like on a hot summer day, and this is just great. It's so refreshing. I loved using this when we were flying too on our red eye. I take it with me everywhere. I did get a new makeup bag, and if you know me, you know I love toiletry bags. It's a problem. I had to cut myself off. Like, she's big. It's not good for travel, but if you're like me and you just like to see, I'm a very visual person, like all my makeup at one glance, this is perfect. Matt actually got an ad for this on TikTok, and he sent it to me, and I was like, I'm gonna try it out. It opens up into just this huge open compartment, and like I said, you can see everything at one glance, which I love. Okay, I'm gonna go through and see if there's anything new I tried. Brow gel. This is my favorite, and I think it's like the most affordable one out there. The Gotta Be Glued 2-in-1 brow gel. I have very stubborn brows, and this locks them in. I love this so much. I did become obsessed with these L'Oreal lip oils this year. They did send me one, and then I continuously went and rebought like 2 or 3 because I have one in like my purse, my car, my work bag. They're not sticky. They're a little bit plumping and I'm just obsessed with them. Like, they are the best. My favorite shade is this one in Nude Macaron. But I also have the clear one too. I love these so much. Like I said, I've repurchased quite a few. They did send me the first one. I am their #1 fan. Actually, I have a hair care favorite. I'm so all over the place. I'm so sorry. I have tried quite a few little frizz tamer sticks and this one is my favorite. Once again, I did get sent this. However, I've repurchased it with my own money. Like, I genuinely love it. Tried the day one. I tried the Bondi Boost one and this one's the best and it's the most affordable. What I like the most about this one, which let me do a little beauty guru action for you, is it's not greasy. So I can use it, like some of them I find really greasy and they're just meant for the slick backs. I use this one today. It's great because I have a lot of flyaways and baby hairs. Okay, kind of just like, I guess, random favorites. I'm all about the moisturizer here. Okay, like I said, it's -20 out today. You gotta moisturize the hands. Vaseline Hydroplenish hand cream. Like, cocoa butter is just like a signature body lotion smell. Do you guys know what I mean? Like, when I say cocoa butter, like you can just picture what it smells like. I love this. I have one in my office, one in my work bag. She's the best. I understand why this was in everyone's 2024 favorites. I don't know how long we've had this in Canada, probably a while, but very much, once again, was trying to just use what I had first. So I waited until I ran out of my last body lotion to get a new one. And then I was like, wait, I'm gonna see if I can find the EOS one. My friend Shannon, I'll plug her YouTube channel here. I love her. She talks about this, specifically the vanilla cashmere one. And I went for the Fresh and Cozy. Smells very, okay, this is like for my Disney girlies, but it smells like the Polynesian. Okay, it smells like the beach. It smells fresh. The Polynesian is the best way to explain it. It just feels like a little luxury to have over the winter. So worth the wait in Canada. Okay, and then scents that I have repurchased or will be repurchasing. I have been using the same Jo Malone perfume for probably like 5 years now, and I love it. I just wanted to try something new. Dolce Gabbana Light Blue. I was looking for something nice and light and fresh to wear to work. We're not allowed to wear scents in the hospital, but like when I go to conferences and stuff, I don't know, I just want to smell nice and professional, but like light and fresh at the same time. And this is it. I love this. I also love Scentbird so much. It's a great way to try out new perfumes. Definitely plan to repurchase this and go into 2026 using this as one of my main perfumes. I love this so much. Last but not least, I have what I was wearing. Once again, I think along with the beauty and the wellness thing is I very much am like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it with clothing. I really have tried this year to buy a bit more intentionally, think of cost per use, right? Like if I'm buying a $20 dress and I wear it once, the cost per use is $20. Or if I wear it twice, it's $10. But if I buy a $100 dress and I wore it 10 times, like my cost per use has gone down dramatically. So I really tried to take that into account this year and just buying quality pieces, not just buying for the sake of buying for trends, and also dressing for my body type and what makes me feel confident. That's been a really big thing this year. And so a lot of my clothing pieces I don't necessarily think were from this year, but they're just pieces that I loved. And maybe this, I don't know, just like serves as a reminder that like it's okay to keep wearing clothes. And I'm a huge outfit repeater and I don't think there's anything wrong with that because I love the pieces that I have and I'd rather have less clothes and love them than have more and not love them. It's kind of like the physical TBR for me. And so there was definitely some great new additions this year, but a lot of pieces have carried over from previous years. Accessories, I wear the same things every single day. My Oura ring, my wedding ring, I actually really loved this year, and it was my friend Yolanda who got me into this. The different wedding stacks. This is my travel ring, but I just like love wearing it to switch it up. And if you guys don't follow Yolanda over on TikTok and Instagram, she collects like antique rings and she has her original wedding stack, but she loves to like create different wedding stacks. She did like a Disney stack when she went. She gets her husband to create them for her. I think it's just like a really fun way to change it up. Obviously my favorite rings will always be like my actual wedding stack, but I think it's really fun to just play around with rings, and depending on your mood or what you're wearing, it's a lot of fun. So I really like this little simple combo. This is what I just wear when I travel and stuff. This watch I got at the Portobello Road Market in London. Doesn't have batteries in it right now, but I don't really care. I love it. I love that it's square, it's very dainty, and I just look at it and I think of London all the time and it makes me so, so happy. These are probably one of my top 2 pairs of earrings, these chunkier ones. I think they're either from Old Navy or Joe Fresh, and then the smaller gold hoops that you guys always see me wear, those are from Amazon. Yeah, I don't really change up my accessories much ever, truthfully. Favorite purse of the year? This one is kind of a bit of a shocker, and it was my little Longchamp dupe. I used to be a Longchamp hater. I was like, who the hell is using that tiny ass little purse? And then I thought to myself, Wait, this actually like feels kind of practical. I love this for travel. It is the perfect bag to use at the airport, especially if you have like a backpack. Love my baggie, but sometimes it feels like a lot to have the baggie and a backpack and then you get your carry-on. This is so nice and small. It fits so much more than you would think it fits. Oh look, I have another one of those L'Oreal lip glosses in here. I did like my phone, both of our passports, my wallet. It is honestly amazing. I told myself that I had to get a dupe, and if I actually use the dupe, then I could think about potentially getting the real one. But I love it. I have it in black and I have it in navy. I think I reached for the black more, but I think it is like the best practical little purse, and you wouldn't think it, but it fits so much. Perfect for running errands. I got so much use out of this, and maybe I'll treat myself to the real one next year or like year end as like a little treat to myself. I haven't quite decided yet because I do quite enjoy the dupe, but I use this so freaking much, honestly. My most worn graphic t-shirt for sure was my Disney cruise one. I love a good graphic tee. I wear them to bed. I wear them in the summer just when I'm like lounging around the house with like some athletic shorts to run errands. I love it. It's bright, it's fun, it's cute. And there's something about a Disney, like just Disney souvenirs and clothing. I just like love the sizing of it. They're perfectly oversized. I just feel like, yeah, the Disney ones always hit. Not be shocked, truthfully. I wear this all the time. This just looks great. It's so multi-purpose, and I love multi-purpose clothing. It looks good buttoned up with like a black mini skirt. It looks good with a black dress in the summer. It looks good like a black bodysuit and trousers at work with a belt. This is so multi-purpose. It's a couple years old from Reitman. I'll see if they still sell it, but yeah, this was definitely a staple in 2025. This was one of my purchases of this year. I love this thing. I wear it a ton. Once again, it's multi-purpose. It's nice for work. It's, you know, professional for work. I can dress it up for a date night too. It's that like high neck buttoned up cardigan trend with the open kind of like bottom here. I would highly recommend any kind of one of these high neck little like buttoned cardigans. They're great. This skirt was my most worn of this year. It's from Ardennes. I want to say it was like $20, not even. It's got a great elastic band. I love the plaid on it, and I wore this a ton. I'll put a picture here with like a jean jacket and like a black baby tee. That was like my go-to spring outfit when I was like traveling in Toronto and stuff. Love this guy. These are a couple years old now, but they're like my ride or die work pant. I am 5'11", so I am on the taller side, and these Halara trousers are the best. They're stretchy, they've got a great waistband, they're the perfect height, they're comfy, they're like a bit of a sporty material. I love these. Another kind of like trend this year that actually surprisingly worked for me, barrel jeans. These are from Old Navy. I don't know how the girl is trying these things on because I don't really feel like doing that, but barrel jeans, super flattering on my body type. I was kind of shocked. I love them. This was another find from this year, and I have it in multiple colors because I loved it that much. The Aerie Oh Snap sweatshirt is perfect. It is just the coziest, comfy quarter zip. Aerie just respectfully slays the oversized sweater game. Perfectly oversized. It looks really good with like a vest and black leggings in the fall, and I just love it. You guys see me wear this all the time. I really want it in another color, to be quite honest. Favorite shorts this summer were these Target ones. I don't know if they sell them. I got them last year when I was in Connecticut, but they are these sweat shorts. There's something about them that's so flattering. Like, I don't know what it is. They're high-waisted. They're the perfect length. They're so cute. They've got pockets. I wore the hell out of these this summer with like a black tank top. I loved these. I wore this specific outfit a ton in the summer. This blue and white striped top. It's from Marshall's. And then these white, they're kind of supposed to look like linen, but they're like cotton shorts from Aerie. And I wore this outfit combo a ton and I loved it. Obviously, I think that there's like favorites that go without saying, right? Like, I love my Kindle, I love my Kobo. You guys already know that. But yeah, this was actually so much fun to film. I am curious, let me know if you guys would want to see this maybe like quarterly going into 2026. I feel like sometimes with the monthly resets, I don't have enough new favorites to show you guys monthly. But let me know if you guys would want to see like a quarterly, maybe like all the things I'm loving at the moment. I think that could be kind of a fun little like reflective video. I hope that this video also reminds you that it is okay to invest in things that bring you joy, but also appreciate the things in your life, like the routines and the little things you do for yourself that don't cost anything. And yeah, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'm sure this is quite a long video, but I hope you guys enjoyed, and I am so excited to see what 2026 has in store. Also, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to everyone who tagged me in their like YouTube recap of the year. I am still trying to catch up on all the DMs and messages that you guys sent, just that I was a top creator for you. Thank you so much for welcoming me into your homes and just like letting me share my life with you guys. A lot of you have spent like most of my 20s, if not all my 20s with me, and we've just been there through a lot. I love chatting with you guys on Instagram. I feel like I've developed friendships with a few of you guys. I'm just so happy to have you guys here, and I'm really excited because there's gonna be a giveaway in every video for like my little mini vlogmas, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.